want to see this one through versus FaZe. Obviously, we saw the versus NIP just yesterday, and they lost that series in a 2-1 fashion. They were able to pick up one map, and now heading into Overpass, their map pick, you can see that FaZe over on the CT side to kickstart this one. They get to choose sides, because it is Heroic's map pick. So Heroic going to be sending 4 players down here toward B early. They leave S-Tag behind up in mid just to keep an eye on this aggression from FaZe. There is only Guardian at this side of the map. Up on the A side, that is. 4 players for FaZe stacked in this B bomb site right now. And Heroic looking like they might walk into this stack.
Yeah, Smoke going straight over, and already Guardian pushing A as well. He's going to be able to rotate down the connector very quickly when this push comes through. Nico on the site, already starting off in Nico style. 2 kills. Same story for Freiburg, and Sam will get himself onto the site with another. This bomb can go down, but here's where the wrap comes in to pinch. Guardian with 1 off the flank, and now it is Olaf versus the young gun for Heroic. He can even rotate, because that smoke is giving him a bit of room to move. Back towards the heaven, Olaf goes. Stown gets the information. He will fake his rotate back off, but Olaf jumps into the bomb site. Stown, with the bomb in hand, has to switch back to the pistol. And not looking to commit to this fight anytime soon. He'd rather rotate and take his chances for a plant on A.
Yeah, now that he knows that Olaf has jumped down into that B bomb site, he knows this rotation is going to take a little while to come through. Olaf sneaking on up, slowly but surely, is rotating it through CT. Stown's going to be allowed to get the bomb down here, and it is going to be this toilets post plant, but Olaf, woo!
See ya.
He's already here, and he's taking off heads. That will be the pistol round going the way of FaZe as they recover that 1v1 toward the end. And already some nice shots from a few key players here on the FaZe roster.
As you would expect, Harry. And Olaf, who has had a pretty rough last few months, had some great maps yesterday up against Devils 1. Already starting things off very well in this one as well, with a pistol clutch and 2 kills to his name. FaZe sit with 1 on the board. Now we have that buy, and look at that from Heroic. It is a triple AK on round number 2 after losing pistol. That's the bomb plant money really coming out to bail Heroic in this round. Now, they don't have utility behind it with the exception of Blame, but if you can hit your shots, Harry, who needs nades? At least that's what you tell yourself when you buy a Deagle every round. But for now, Heroic are giving the connector.
Yeah, I mean, you got to justify my bad life decision somehow.
Yeah.
Olaf going to get flashed in,
Nice.
takes the fight with Freiburg and wins that convincingly so. He's going to be allowed to back away in spite of this heavy presence from Heroic over in connector. That trade never materializes onto Olaf. Whoop. Mertz. You're going to catch the flash there. Dren almost gets caught out pushing forward, but it doesn't lead to anything just yet. Mertz has been allowed to retrieve this AK at the very least. That's what Adren was looking for with that long aggression. He was hoping he could have retrieved the solitary AK from Freiburg. So a bit of damage done onto these FaZe Clan players, but they are sitting with the man advantage right now. Heroic with all their eggs in one basket over here towards this A portion of the map. Blame F going to be tagged down low through that smoke. Certainly not ideal for Heroic, but he is able to pick up Guardian. This rotation coming in from Nico, but right now a lot of the pressure going to fall onto Raid, and that Molotov missing does put him in a bit of an awkward spot. He tries to duck out from the short position and falls as a result, so now it's Nico to try and hold down the site, but Stown's going to best him, and Olaf and Adren suddenly thrust into this 2v4. Now, these two were tagged down earlier on in the round, so they might just have to give this one up.
Yeah, that's an awkward round for FaZe to lose, but the rifle's coming in clutch for Heroic. You could tell that when Rain peeked toilets there to get the information, he spots a scout at the back of toilets and thinks that he has enough time to cross back to the site. Little did he know there was already a player pushed up close around the corner who heard him throw the Molotov that didn't even work in the first place. So that's very unfortunate timing for Rain. And FaZe are losing out their second round, just holding on to SMGs. It's not how they wanted this one to go. They don't even take M4s into the follow-up round. And I'm sure they're going to buy around this, but won't have a lot to play with on this CT side. Mertz, got to be careful not to lose this AK. He will not. Heroic playing very safe in the exit here, not looking to give up any guns to FaZe. Would rather just keep their own economy in a good place, and they shall. FaZe now, as we would imagine, buying up around this, but they're going to have very, very limited money. I'm saying Stown correctly.
There we go. Who confirmed it?
DMG Z and Risk as well. It's
And
a two-man team. We got a couple of days.
Can we rely on Risk?
Not really.
That's the question I always ask myself.
I never know. But I'll take the confirmation.
Big love to our Danish brothers for helping us out there. So at least now we know. And Hugo, knowledge is power. So in theory, you've just got a bit more powerful. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, right.
Congrats on the old level up, I guess.
Love a bit of power, I do.
Well, right now, this round, it's heroic with all the power. They've got these rifles across the board. Obviously, they went for that force buy in the round prior. They were even able to hold on to the M4 that dropped. So they've been kitted up courtesy of FaZe Clad. And they're very slow on this default, are heroic. This is kind of been the signature style that we've seen out of them, right? They are a big fan of these very slow-paced rounds where they slowly try and push and prod, taking map control as they do. So it's going to be long where this push looks to come through. 2 players in the toilets now. Timing's going to be everything here. In fact, timing might not matter. The flash from Nico is perfect to help out at the very end. Rain's turned around and pivoted onto the man, pushing into the toilets, and Freiburg is left scratching his head. How has this happened? How have the rest of his team all been bested within 4 seconds of one another? And now it's Freiburg in the 1-on-5. Does manage to deal with the first man. They're peeking into him. He's tapping away, but Guardian will cement a second round for FaZe. That force buy, it was just a collection of SMGs, a couple of pistols here and there, and it will prevail. That double stack in Toilet could have either been the gift that it was or a major liability. The flash from Nico was perfect on top of some great shots from the rest of the squad.
Well, that's the thing. You usually see those rounds fall apart if you don't get the timing right as a CT. But FaZe, they got 2 kills and they dinked Mertz before the flash came in. They just won their gunfights, Harry. Heroic didn't flash into the toilets. They just thought, oh, we have the numbers. We'll be fine. No, not against pistols. Shredded by the close range. And now they're the ones on the back foot. 3 AKs, although we've seen them win this before. That being said, FaZe are armed to the teeth in this one, winning their own force buy.
I don't get this. Every heroic game, we see these back and forth force buy battles.
They win pistol, they lose to the force, Harry.
But this time, they inversed it. They
win to the force. Wait, they lose to the force. No, sorry, I'm lost.
Right, they lose pistol. Yes, they win the force. They lose to the anti-eco. Yeah. They just can never seem to win these anti-eco rounds. So now, in theory, now that they've only got the 3 AKs and a couple of pistols, they should be fine.
This is the best buy they need, Harry. Who needs guns? I mean, they've already done great damage to Adren. Nades going down long to catch that close position outside of Monster. We've started seeing a lot of teams do that recently. Free damage and minimal risk. Olof, he's going to get flashed in. There's 2 players on the other side, not blinded, and doesn't matter. 2 kills for Olof Meister. I think Freiburg was just at the end of that blindness, but his teammate was around the corner. Doesn't matter, they line up. And Olof, he takes a 5-on-3 early into this round. Heroic. That's kind of the game plan thrown out the window there. One of their rifles gone. Mertz will try and pick it back up, and he finds it in the water. Gotta hope it's not too rusty, although those AKs can survive through anything. Blame. Very close position on short. Nico catches him. Rain's pushed up, but that's a missed shot. Rain. Awkward. It allows Mertz to bypass, and it astounds here already. They've got the bomb site to themselves. FaZe have given this one up.
Down is able to deal with Guardian on that fast flank up through CT spawn. Now, there is still 1 man towards this side of the map, but if they're able to deal with Olof, they could have looked to have pushed into the bank and hold it from here. Mertz might just catch the timing. Olof is not ready for the second man to wrap round. But they're starting to consider it, right? As they've cleared this bomb site, they're going to realize the penny's going to drop. Olof has cemented this position over at the dumpster, and he's going to dumpster Mertz. So that will be another round for FaZe. The bomb goes down at least for Heroic. If you're looking for silver lining, as it's that. But there's no money here for the Danish squad, so it will just be the eco from. You can partially invest on a couple of players, grab some pistols if you might like.
And great decision-making from Olof there down in the spawn. 4 kills in that round, shuts down the buy of Heroic. 3-1 scoreline. FaZe are sitting pretty right now at the start of Heroic's map pick. Pistols is it for these Ts, with no utility behind it either, so... AWP tags up Freiburg early on, but not going to be too much of a worry for Heroic. They are just charging. Rain's going to be here. Won't miss these shots. And ecoing players... Rain is more than happy to take their heads off. He's It's going to get met with a few more as well. This AWP might need to come in and help him out, but it's actually backed off towards the site. Rain's now spotted 2 out of these 3 players. 1 has got himself very close though. Freiburg, 20 points of health, and he's finished off. Nico will come in for some more, and S-Tag just a couple bullets away from a 4th round for FaZe.
Yeah, but this is where we can really look for things to step up here. Heroic have the full buy in this round. They've got all the bells and whistles, everything they could possibly need. The AWP's going to be out in the hands of Mertz. So we will get to see this head-to-head between Guardian and Mertz. And, you know, yesterday, Mertz was someone who we touched upon, right? Him and S-Tag were the 2 players I was looking for to step up. And once again, similar to how they did versus NIP, they're both getting off to a pretty slow start now. It's only early days. And I'm hoping that now that we have the AWP back in Mertz's hand, we can see him look to rise through the rankings and find some success here.
Because I remember S-Tag had one map where he was really slow and he just never started, Harry. He just never got on that board. Whereas Mertz,
that was Mirage, right? And if you remember, that was the map where they got ruined on, and that was a very, you know, kind of anticlimactic showing from S-Tag, who'd looked so promising throughout the entire series.
But on the bright side, Mertz had a similar start, and he very much recovered. He was one of the top performers for Heroic in that best-of-3 series as well. So, you know, silver linings, Harry. Let's see if he can open this one up with the AWP. They're trying to take control towards toilets, but Rain, he refuses to leave. These are his toilets right now, Harry. That smoke will fade in the next 10 seconds, so he's got to move on back here. Doesn't want to get split. Olof gets aggressive, tries to at least. There's still a player on B water to hold on to that. Rain, good off angle, gets some information, but no kill presenting itself. Mertz is just holding down his retreat path, so he's got to be very careful here. Actually, we'll call for support, and Olof has pushed up. Adren has taken very deep monster control, and this can allow for, you know, FaZe to almost completely give up that B site. They can rotate 3 towards A, have 1 just to dedicate on that short spot, and Adren can just sit in monster and even late round flank. Rain just got key info. He just spotted a player retreating. Now Adren is going to be aware of this split down towards the B bomb site, where that bomb is in tow as well.
Oh. Freiburg catches him, trying to be sneaky beakied out in short water. Rain just going to miss the timing on these players, but Nico is here
10 seconds
to respond with the AWP. And yeah, this bomb has to go down. Freiburg gets dropped. Rain could deny this entire round, but a big kill from Stown might have saved it. They're both going to fall to Guardian, and it's Blame F now to try and 1v3. He will deal with the point man. Guardian's been dropped. Bomb is planted for short, so Blame at least has that to fall back on. The Molotov's been retrieved and is going to rain in onto the bomb. This buys him that much more time. It's Nico with his sights trained in on short that's going to cause some problems. But as this time ticks down, they have to consider the potential of the long wrap. Now, Nico just checked it. And he will hold his own over towards short as he doesn't spot anyone down in Monster. He kind of solidifies to himself that Blame F is still playing the short position. So FaZe will move up 5-1.
Very calculated 2v1 there for FaZe. No problems, no worries. They know the molly's not going to, you know, last for too long. Olof just waits it out and then just gets on the bomb. Hopes Nico has him covered, which of course Nico does. And as you said, he even checked the Monster app as well. Knew that he just had to hit his shot. And that's something that Nico does well. So 5-1 to FaZe. They sit comfortably in the lead, and Heroic are back on pistols for now. Early smokes being set up from this T side. They've got a lot of utility on, you know, half by round. Lots of money with this loss bonus plus bomb plant, but no control towards A. They get smoked off very deep, and FaZe get control and information off the back of it. These CTs have not been too worried about getting in the face of Heroic, and now they're going to get dealt with Heroic in their face. Stown gets 1 with a CZ. Olof tries to defend this long position. He will be able to mow down 1 more, but Blame eventually overwhelms him. That's all the info her FaZe need. They've seen all 3 players here.
Yeah, and Rain on the strap round looks to solidify things for FaZe. Heroic don't even seem aware of the possibility that a man could be in the back line. Here's Rain arriving. He'll get cut down as well. So this round a lot closer than FaZe would have ever liked. It's Nico creeping in, who might have done enough, but no, Freiburg gets the trade. What a back and forth round this has been. And for Freiburg, a minute left, just Guardian to find. There's a chance here for him. He knows he's got all the time in the world. So he's just going to go for the very long rotation. The question now becomes, how long does Guardian hold this position at B? You can see he's over towards, I believe that's Graffiti right now. And after a while, you know, he does somewhat have to consider the possibility of this route, but it's likely we just see him stay at B, right? He knows that He's going to hear that bomb go down up on A, so he'll have a bit of time to go for the rotation. Sticks to his guns, and Freiburg will be afforded plenty of time to set up a post plant here.
Smoke and flash on Freiburg. This is decent. Guardian has his Molotov and smoke as well for that bomb. Freiburg, early smoke being used. Guardian only just beginning to rotate. That smoke went a bit deep as well, so it won't really do too much. Guardian's not going to be too worried about that. Flashes himself into the bomb site. AWP can't afford to miss a shot, but that's not something Guardian's known for. As Freiburg just waits for the tap, waits for the noise cue to give him a peek. Molotov to cut off one of the two avenues of attack, and Guardian going to run down. Freiburg hides, not giving him the gunfight that he wants. Now on the bomb, sticking it. He's sticking it, and Freiburg finds a shot. Saves it for Heroic in the one-on-one. They pick up a pistol round, Harry. That was decent investment from Heroic, but they didn't have a single AK.
Yeah, just all the trades coming through from Heroic, right? With those pistols, using them so well, just playing off of one another. And, you know, the very individual peaks from FaZe definitely go the distance in helping them out there as well. We do at least have the buy still on the cards for either squad. Interesting thing to note, no AWP in hand for Mertz. They had the money to go for it. Maybe we see something a bit faster from Heroic here. Early on, lots of mid-aggression. Dread is holding close, and this isn't something they've had to deal with before. Just as they try and trade onto him, that's where Rain goes aggressive in through long. And now the last-ditch B play looking to come through from Heroic. They do get out and into Monster. Olaf is going to spot this and call for these rotations. Bombs already going down for Heroic, though. They've got into this B site at a blistering pace, rather. Very quick in response to losing those two players over in mid, just hitting B, and now 5v3 in the retake. Not the easiest situation for FaZe, but certainly not impossible.
Ooh, Stown though, sitting close. Freiburg draws their attention towards them, and Mertz lines up two. Rain on the flank lines up a double as well, but he can't convert the second kill, and now time is the issue. Only a few seconds left. Stown spraying, and he finds them both. From the back of the pit, only revealing his position at the end of the round. FaZe thought they cleared the site, but little did they know there was one man just below. And Heroic, another rifle round one. Harry, that's a 3-on-5 there. Heroic make the call that, okay, we've just spotted a minimum of 3 players up on that A bomb site. It was actually 4. And FaZe had given up B, playing the back of Graffiti there. They set up for a 5-on-3 retake and lose it. That's got to hurt you if you're FaZe. Not only the morale, but also the money. Cash is going to be a problem here in round number 9 as Heroic have all of it. Mertz is back on the AWP, retrieved from the body of Guardian, I can only imagine. And FaZe just gambling here in the connector. 2 on B. Adren trying to watch the push down the stairwell as well from that toilet spot. Nico missing the boost. And doesn't want to go back up because that made a noise cue. And Blame F going to spam it just to be sure. Make sure no one's on that other side setting up a cheeky little boost. Even watching the triple setup, knowing the FaZe's money is low. That's a dig through the wall. Freiburg's down to 11 from the Deagle. Oh dear. Looked like he could have finished it off, and he will. Dear, oh dear. With the warning shots not enough.
No more Deagle heroics from Nico, though they finally managed to deal with the wall banger himself. And Stout has gotten off to one hell of a start in this series. He's looking to try and pad these stats even more, but he's only good for 1 over in Connector, and Rain, this AK, might be feeling pretty happy with it. Oh, uh-oh, he's not ready for Mertz.
Making a lot of noise here.
There we go, nice and easy. And a 4th round for Heroic. Now, something they have been very good at in this Heroic side of things is getting off to these slow starts where a team just starts to build up this massive lead against you. And then we always seem to see them be able to grind their way back into it and at least make it competitive. Now sitting 4-5 and a chance to tie things up. If they take this round, the money for FaZe is going to really start to become a problem here. Being over on that CT side, not having a banked loss bonus just yet. And by the way, they've been able to get these 4 rounds with S-Tag still being 007, the secret agent.
FaZe looking to take matters into their own hands though. B short control immediately established. Every CT round we've had FaZe, you know, off spawn take a position that not necessarily should always belong to them. And so FaZe look to continue doing that, continue pressuring Heroic. But it will be up towards the A site. These Danes set their sights. Double setup over in the toilets. Guardian's watching with the AWP, and they're going to have to cross past that if they want to get into this A site. Guardian, lots of info. 3 players spotted on the cross, and he doesn't fire a shot. Now, will they be ready for this position? He's got to peek out and find out. There's one. Nico getting the flash assist from the site, and Guardian is mowing them down with the AWP. Mertz last alive, and he will have no chance. 3 kills from Guardian. Nice trigger discipline as well there, letting them pass from the toilets. Heroic choose to send no one inside, and that is to their own detriment.
Guardian was so good, he even managed to kill the replay machine. My God. Yeah, that's pretty unreasonable. 6-4 right now in favor of FaZe, and worrying side of the times. Their first first full buy yields some serious results. We do get to see the replay. There we go. Very quick at fixing the little gremlins in the system. You ever see the film Gremlins, Hugo?
I have not.
It used to terrify me when I was younger.
You told me that before.
They were just... What even were those creatures, man?
Gremlins.
Just little green things. Well... Heroic kind of in a bit of a desperate spot now, trying to figure out how best to approach this this coming round. You can see that man on your screen, not talking about Freiburg, the next man in S-Tag, you know, still struggling here to find his footing. I hate to keep harping on it, but I just know how good this man can be.
Yeah.
So you do want to see some more from it, especially with Stound performing how he is right now. It feels like we could have all the pieces of the puzzle for this to be a truly competitive matchup, one that FaZe, you know, can't just expect to walk away with cleanly if we have the usual suspects for Heroic turning up.
Oh, Freiburg fully blinded though. Well-timed flashbang, but still Olof gives up the short position. Nico's lined up the wallbang, and he'll get a bit of damage off it. Now it's just the T's bullying into the B-bomb site. Great shot from Stound. Rain lines up 2 again, and he is just the multi-kill man right now. Freiburg eventually finished off after the trade, and S-Tag will keep his streak going. No kills for him as FaZe take another round on that CT side, locking down the B-bomb site defense. Heroic realizing that, okay, we may have had success towards B in the past, but not necessarily in these 5-on-5s. FaZe have been locking down the site round after round. It's the 3-on-3s, or even the 3-on-5s for Heroic, where FaZe have given up B, that things have been far more successful.
Yeah, I think if you're Heroic, you just want to go back to kind of slower style default, you know, denying this map control the way of FaZe, because the issue with those flat B site commitments off the bat is you'll always know, as you pointed out just a few rounds ago, FaZe are very proactive in taking this map control away from Heroic, right? So the second they dedicate all 5 towards A, that's where you see players like Guardian, like, I was going to say a Dread. He's been a man to do it in the rounds prior. Rain has his fair share of big flags coming through, but yeah, they've all been very, very proactive in pushing up and taking the information.
Oh, there we go. Bomb tumbles down the stairs like a slinky as well, and that was a slick round from FaZe. No issue with the P250s of Heroic, as you would like to, you know, imagine.
Rain has like really just hit some god form lately, hasn't he? Obviously had that amazing performance out in Miami, and he was pretty keen just yesterday as well. This man is tapping in to his frag reserves.
His fragular glands, Harry.
They're swollen right now. The frag glands are swollen. The gamer gloop is everywhere, and the frag fluid, well, that might just be high in supply as well. Guardians down here in connector.
Oh dear.
Ooh. Rain continuing to push a prod. Stound's fully blind, and Rain's gonna extend the man advantage in favor of FaZe yet again. This time with connector control from FaZe and Heroic, they seem to be running in to a man wherever they turn.
And that's the issue, right? They just can't play their own game when you have this happening to you. Now look, we have Heroic dedicating 2 players in spawn to watch the ladder play.
And it's not even like, the real problem is for FaZe, it's not like they've been taking the same area of the map every single time, right? They've been so good at switching it up and catching Heroic where they are the weakest time and time again. And, you know, you can see the effect that losing connector has, right? Suddenly you have to go for these very long, safe rotations in through T-spawn. Either that or you dedicate a couple of players to try and clear it, but that's going to cost you utility at a minimum. So they decide against it. They just hedge their bets to go for the B-side play. And this is where FaZe currently have 3 players stacked up.
Ooh, nice shot from S-Tag. Finally his first kill on the board. Can he get any more done? That's a yes. Adren caught mid-air and he'll be plucked out. Nico with a double. No flashbangs to stop him. One comes too late, but he's dropped back into the pit and Rain has killed the short flank. Blame the last man up, and they should have an idea as to where he is. Now they definitely do. He's fired warning shots, and there's no warning shots for FaZe. They're going to be taking the gunfights. Blame. He's nearly had a 1v3 clutch in the past, but this one will end similarly. FaZe, another round on the CT side, and things are just going swimmingly for them. It was a good start for Heroic, Harry. We had a back and forth beginning with these force buys, these pistols, as we know that Heroic love to go back and forth with. But since FaZe have had full guns and that AWP, it has been non-stop.
Yeah, this is where the cracks are kind of starting to show a bit for Heroic. Now, they are somewhat salvaged by the fact that they're over on this T side, right? They were able to chain together a couple of rounds on the back of breaking FaZe's economy. So you have kind of already salvaged a respectable T side. Anything else you can get here is a bit of a bonus. You're probably like a 5-10 scoreline at a minimum. Down, first man in, he gets a lot of real estate into this A-bomb site, but Olaf is not a courteous landlord. He's going to shut them out. Olaf, they do manage to deal with him. So now man advantage taken for Heroic. Bomb down as well. Guardian and Rain thrown into the attempted retake here. And they are going to go for it, right? You've got the money if you're FaZe.
Oh, but this position is so valuable. They've boosted a man up. When FaZe have no one coming from the CT spawn or heaven, Blame can just play the bomb. That smoke is still up as well. They have no idea he's here. And with the time being so low, this could come back to haunt FaZe. Default plant, and Blame needs to get a kill now. He does, but can he stop the defuse? Molotov might be too late. Guardian sticking it. There's just a second left, but the fire and flames engulf him, and the fast B play works out. Blame finally being able to win that clutch. He's had a couple of attempts down on that B-bomb site, but this one is successful. And another round for Heroic where they don't even have guns and they pick it up. That's a second pistol win against a full buyer FaZe. And Harry, it just goes to show, when we see these solo rounds for Heroic, yeah, FaZe just take map control. When they blast it with a fast B, Heroic suddenly start picking up stuff. Not that I think that's the recipe for success on a rifle
I was going to say, right, because I think
I know you're looking
that's only half the story, right? Like, it works when it works.
They've also hit B fast and got wrecked. So,
no, exactly. And that round, they catch the fortunate timing by the fact that Olaf was the only man there. He was really not ready for the blistering pace set from Heroic. But it's not like a tried and tested thing you can fully rely on this round. They should learn that phase of stack everyone bar Rain towards this B-bomb site. Guardian shutting down Stown to kickstart this round, and now they look to trickle on through. Olaf going to hop off the box. These Molotovs are very much just cornering FaZe in. Blame good for one more, but it's just a sheer number of FaZe players on the other side of these smokes that should look to get the job done. But just as you say it, Mertz and S-Tag with a couple of kills between them. The bomb's been dropped, and it's in the eyes of Guardian right now. He's over at Graffiti. Freiberg and Mertz looking to try and double peek into this, and Mertz will land the shot. A 6th round for Heroic, a 9-6 half. Still in favor of FaZe, but a good recovery from the Danes. They salvage a very decent T side, all things considered. And with their CT side coming up next on their map pick, things could be heating up here in this matchup between FaZe and Heroic. Find out exactly how that second half goes down after the break. Do not go anywhere.
Dancing on my own when you spill that ramen coke on my t-shirt. Yeah, your eyes made it difficult to get my baby. And the next thing I knew, we were so ready to give in, skin to skin on that baseline. Ooh, you give me that high pitch feel, baby. We shared a the next thing I lose. We were so ready to give in, skin to skin on that baseline. Ooh, you give me that high pitch feel, baby.
Well, I've just received word that the E-athletes have warmed up. They took a bit of a break there, Hugo. Their frag fingers are at the ready, and they're ready to begin the 100-meter sprint to the finish line in this first map. FaZe sitting 9-6 up at the end of that first half. Sorry, go on.
It's going to be a 150-meter sprint, though, for Heroic. Sitting on the back foot, Harry. Down by 3. That's fine, though. Pistol round can change everything, can pull you back into the lead, or at least to a better scoreline, and they're looking for it. As FaZe favoured on the Betway odds. I don't think we can be too surprised at that, but Heroic have put up a pretty decent T-side on this map. And we're going to see what they can bring into the second half. Ooh, armor here. Oh, that is an awkward fight. No idea how Guardian's still alive. Dink through the wall. He'll get back up. Heroic will continue to chase. And Guardian not going to hold his position despite knowing there were CTs here. He didn't spot all 3 of them. And they won't spot him. They'll let him back off towards A, go for this long play with the bomb picked up. And FaZe setting up to try and take control of this site with 3, now 4 players. S-Tag gets the information. Still Olaf trying to hold on to these B rotates and maybe even try and sell a fake later in the round, but it's very clear where this bomb is going. S-Tag should be calling for reinforcements. He spotted 2 or 3 players here, but there's only 2 men up on the A site. Now it's going to begin to rotate. Olaf's got the kill on B. That's going to keep CTs in this position, and there's still a player to deal with in the connector who will find him. 4 on 4 now on the post plant. FaZe find the bomb down.
Yeah, this is aggressive hold from Nico and Array, kind of propped up by Guardian over on the truck to draw the attention away. That is going to be such a problem to deal with. Now Nico takes that peek, gets the information that he's got 2 players trapped in bank, but Freiburg and Blame greeting the scoreboard, manage a couple of kills between them, and suddenly it is just Adren left standing. Taps down the first man. You've got to get on this bomb if you're Heroic, and Adren just playing the time. It's not planted for him, so he's got to win this first fight. They're sticking it, and now they're off the bomb. Blame's going to fall, and Adren with the 1v3 to secure that pistol round for FaZe. A big performance from that man on your screen right now to cement this lead as a dominant one for FaZe. We saw Heroic win the Force Buy in the first half. They might be tempted to go for it again, and they will, Hugo. So let's see if Heroic are able to keep the good times rolling with these Force Buys.
Yeah, maybe regretting the lack of kit there. If Blame had a kit, he would have won that round on the defuse when Adren was killing his teammates. So Heroic, who stacked connector early on with no kit, it seems like an interesting decision there, knowing that they'd have weak bomb sites. But let's see if this Force can find anything. Boost up for S-Tag. Gonna be spotted? Yes, it is. Rain's watching it. Knocks him down for the time being. Nico looks for an opening on B. Corner behind the sandbags for now, hoping these CTs get aggressive, but if they do, it will be Rain to make first contact, not Nico, who's hiding around the corner. Freiburg even peeks down Monster to no avail. FaZe just toying with their food right now, trying to work out exactly what Heroic are bringing into this buy, and they can at least see that this has been a force. Will make them slightly hesitate when hitting this B site, especially considering we have 4 SMGs here for FaZe in round number 2 of the half. Always a dangerous decision, knowing that Heroic do love to force buy on their CT side, or on both sides, really. So smoke's being set up towards B. FaZe looking to commit after all, but we've got a quad stack here from Heroic.
S-Tag finds a bit of damage, but no kills come through. Instead, Guardian going to blitz the 2 players down inside of this B-bomb site, and this leaves Flame F here alone. So FaZe able to hold their own against the Force Buy of Heroic Guardian. There we go.
Phew.
Nothing worse than when a fist bump doesn't land. What's that event where the cameraman had to bail them out?
Dream Hack.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Shout out to that guy. Heroic going to be buying a couple of nades here. You might just see the nade stack from them, and yeah, they're all going to head down towards this B bomb site.
If you're expecting a B play, this is really good because you can just throw them all towards Monster and get really a good couple, 2-3 kills here sometimes. You have to hope FaZe go for this though, and already this is looking pretty null and void now. FaZe have split up default across the entirety of the map. Not wanting to allow Heroic to catch them off guard with any kind of aggression.
Imagine if you learn the nade lineup for this A bomb site from back B, so that then you could nade either B or A depending on where the T's push.
You mean nading A from the B bomb site? You can't do that.
I swear you can. You
throw
can do
flashes over short, but the nade is one, not going to reach, two, not going to do any damage.
I feel like enough nades.
I'm
sure there's a lineup somewhere.
If they're sat on a short corner with 4 players, and you want to gamble in that one exact position.
Well, no, but it wouldn't be because you're gambling that they're going to go B, but then you've just got a fail safe if they go A.
No, sorry, Harry.
No,
I like the attempt. You just. There's not a common spot, and there's not a nade setup to throw.
Well, not yet, but you gotta. I mean, yeah, okay, maybe.
Harry, I can tell you.
Okay,
not real. Not real. You can flash. You're not going to be able to nade.
Tried theorycraft, not my strong suit.
Just keep trying, Harry. Don't just give up after one.
Eventually.
Yeah, sometimes
you're
just
get
wrong.
Something right. Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
They say
24-hour clock, and it's only right once. Very briefly.
They say a broken clock is right twice a day, but what if it has no arms and it's broken? You know, it's not right at all because it's not even telling the time.
That's more of like a statement. You know, time isn't real.
And, it's getting deep.
It really is. Well, let's hold off for that for now. Adred, look at the pace set by this man. He's all the way up through connector. Nade doesn't find any damage, and he's just going to continue soaring down towards short. Does get held back by that smoke, but still mid-control taken very early on from FaZe. Guardian even going to assemble this little boost over the top, so BlameF does have to be careful in this forward position. Now, this is an angle that you almost always check if you're FaZe, especially with this close smoke. Flash going to rain through, but Rain was playing the anti-flash position exactly for that. Mert's trying to catch the timing here, and he might have caught the timing. He's behind them. Guardian starts to consider it, but will get blindsided by Mert. So a 4-on-4 now.
Rain even flashed off on short from Mertz as well, so got to back off here. In the meantime, look at that bomb. It's back in T-Spawn. FaZe tried to split back down the connector. Mertz might be able to stop them, and even though he only finds one, the info is going to be valuable. Now Heroic know this will be a B hit. The Molotovs making it very clear. Nico, great boost around the smoke, is going to catch down the only B site player. S-Tag is stuck in the spawn here. Still having a rough game, still on 3 kills. Nico's watching Heaven from that boost, but Mertz will pluck him from the top. 3 kills for the AWP player responded by Adren, who's scavenged his own orb. And Heroic, they're backing off here. They're going back towards Heaven, potentially. The bomb going down here, and Freiburg getting caught in transition. S-Tag now got to find the 1v2 clutch. No kit, only a flashbang. No idea where either of these FaZe players are, and they've split as well. They've moved the AWP back on long. Better position for Adren, and he'll find S-Tag without too much of a hassle. Another round for FaZe. 14 now on this, 13 rather, on this T side. And that is a bonus round, Harry. You do have to remember. They had the AWP on Guardian and an AK, but 3 SMGs, and FaZe just assault Heroic with a lot of utility up towards the upper bomb site. Go for that con rotate. And even though Mertz did his all, 3 kills off that AWP, it's not enough.
Dire straits now for Heroic. They were able to salvage a pretty good half, but since moving on to the T side, they've struggled putting a stop to this momentum that FaZe has built up. Stown is able to trade things out over here towards short, so now maybe he grabs himself a little AK to work with. The issue is Olaf, I was going to say catches the player down on B, but this is where that connector wrap now comes through. And Olaf, he's going to keep the attention of these 3 players here. Now, weapons have been retrieved, and if they're able to find Olaf Meister... Oh, no. Oh.
Yikes.
So close. But maybe 4x3 to death for Mertz there.
FaZe have the A site now. Their early rotate after spotting heavy presence down on B has rewarded them with a bomb plant. Nice Molotov, but too late. Guardian should be able to get out of there. Might force him to the right though, and that's where his teammate sits. So spam through the smoke, which eventually fades. It's a wide peek from Freiburg and the trade from Adren. Blame F now, again, left in the clutch. All to familiar territory. Will he be able to find it? Already tapping the bomb, trying to force the peek, but with no kit. They've got to strafe wider. Adren's got to try and check the site, and he's making a lot of noise. Now knows that Blame cannot be on the bomb and can just hide, wait for the retap. It happens. Adren, oh dear. Blame thought he got the kill, so he stopped shooting, looked back away, and Adren sat on 20 HP, wins the clutch for FaZe, even though they're 2 alive. 14 rounds, Harry, and yeah, as you said in this previous round, Heroic, very good T-side, but yet to get around in the second half, and it doesn't matter how good your T-side is if that is the issue.
Yeah, but you look at Heroic, and we've seen some good individual performances, but you really only get to ride on the back of them over on your T side, right? You can rely on these players that are landing their shots to open things up. This round, they try and take the mid-aggression, and Guardian actually does get down from it. Adren is going to get finished off, and now this leaves Guardian hung out to dry down in mid. The connector play looks to come through, but Freiburg is able to deal with the first man in, and Nico, his job was to get that trade, and he does. Stan's going to dispatch of Olaf down towards short, and this actually leaves Nico and Guardian suddenly thrown into this 2v4. Split between top mid and connector. Nico going to bait the AWP shot out from Mertz. Now knows that there is a player here. Going to continue creeping forward. Mertz is left Blame F alone in mid, and Guardian will be quick to capitalize on that fact. Now the bomb retrieved, and FaZe pulling this back to a very doable situation now. A 2-on-4 presents itself to the international squad.
No kits for Heroic, lots of utility for FaZe, and the B fake as well. This is going to keep 2 players on that lower bomb site. Can just back off through short again. Nico only needs to put a bit of pressure here. The flashbangs blind him, but not a worry when he's given it up. Gone back towards B. Towards A rather, or at least can later. 27 seconds as Guardian makes his way up long. Nico even finding more smokes on the ground now. Heroic are not falling for it. They are going to pre-rotate S-Tag over, but 20 seconds left. Guardian's got to get this entry. Great flash. Mertz doesn't care though. Drops the bomb. 15 as Nico tries to save the day here, but already S-Tag has crossed himself to the truck. Nico does grab the bomb, or at least thinks he does, but he needs to go around the corner. 6 seconds, there's just not enough time. S-Tag should be able to stop this plant. Oh, no, Nico gets it.
Okay,
and surely that's where things, get swept under the rug.
Yeah, there was no way they're going to let him get into a clutchable situation there, right? You know you've got him trapped in that smoke. It's just a matter of if, or when rather, not if.
Not if, you'd hope not if, Harry.
Yeah.
And that's a first round for Heroic on the second half as well, which is crazy to think of. One where FaZe, they almost recovered that 2-on-4. They split up at the beginning, just got caught by a couple of gunfights that didn't go their way, few trades, and then 2-on-4 they make it a very close situation. They get a pick and they even get a bomb plant. So credit to FaZe for somewhat of a recovery there, but it will be Heroic finally getting something done in the second half. Now, will it hold on? Will it continue? We're yet to see. But FaZe certainly don't want it to, with a timeout of their own, tactical pause to try and approach this follow-up rifle round. They've still got money to play with.
Yeah, cash in the bank and fuel in the tank. It just becomes a matter of can Heroic finally put a stop to some of this momentum that FaZe have been allowed to build up. Still got cash even looking to the following round if you're FaZe, so you're not feeling too fazed by this. I didn't even mean for that to happen.
Yeah.
Felt gross after saying it. But FaZe Clan going to be trying to take control of connector in this round. They do get Rain towards this portion of the map early, but Mertz wins his duel versus the AWPer of FaZe over in mid.
And that's freed up so much room. Look at these 2 players down on long as well. They get into this position before the T's do, even though the T's would usually beat them in terms of spawns. But just losing that AWP pick meant Nico and Adren took their time to clear out these playgrounds in short position. Heroic just get the damage zone, fall off back to the site. They've got a pick. They've put Adren down to 11, and they're going to rotate down towards B.
Heroic don't want to risk giving FaZe an olive branch back into this round.
Uh-oh.
That might be enough, though. Nico gonna pluck Mertz from the A-bomb site. Now the rest of FaZe knocking on the door of Heroic here at A. Continuing to creep forward. Smoke's going to start to rain in, make this site feel very claustrophobic indeed. S-Tag trying to hold a bit of a gap in that smoke, but the molly spreads and forces him out. No kills materializing for either side yet, and a lot of the problem they're going to reside the way of FaZe, right? They've got 35 seconds. You've still got Olaf down in connector. You don't have to commit to the A play here. If you are FaZe, and with 3 players on the other side for Heroic, they would be walking into this stack. Still, the Molotov on S-Tag, something to consider. He can really look to throw this whole round into question with that bit of utility alone. He'll throw that out now. Some noise made. They're going to hear the tag onto Nico. Try to follow up with the nade, but it does miss its mark. 10 seconds. FaZe have to get into this site. The kills have to come through. All it takes is one man to step up, and yeah, that's the bomb drop. The round is over. FaZe might get the kills, but no plant materializes, and Heroic able to secure another round. FaZe letting that one just tick down a little too much.
That was Heroic's close smokes on the A bomb site that just made FaZe delay and not want to commit to the push there, knowing that they could easily get sectioned off by Heroic. They decide to wait out the utility, and it comes back to bite them in the form of time or lack of. It's another round for the CTs. Couple in a row here, Harry. Maybe a closer game than we imagined with FaZe on this T side, starting so well. There are limitations, of course. No AWP now for Mertz, and he's been getting a lot of opening picks, winning the duel versus Guardian last round. Not going to be gifted that, but Blame will take down Olaf. I like the way that Heroic are employing different ideas to get this early advantage and then just backing off into 5-on-4s, not giving FaZe the trades. That's so important, not letting them equalize this one. Heroic now keeping this advantage and keeping the bomb site. It's actually Mertz to get caught out by Guardian. Again, he is the first man to go down for Heroic. Last round it was after a pick, yes, but still now equalized for FaZe. Opened up this round once again now for the T side.
Yeah, maybe you wanted to try and position Mertz in the bait and switch setup over towards Long as he just gets caught overextending. Blame F in with his second kill of the round, though, trying to keep things in favor of Heroic. It will go untraded. Nico knows he's got him boxed in, but this is where you look to Freiburg.